Sagittarius, welcome. I'm doing a November reading. I'm choosing to do more of a love reading tonight. I don't know, I just felt like it, so no particular reason. I know there's tons of love tarot readings out there, but I don't do specifically or consistently love readings. Just so that you know, if you're not accustomed to my videos, I'll just tell you I don't draw that many cards. So if you really like tons of clarification, it's not really my thing. So maybe you want to click off, but by all means, if you want to listen in and see how I read, I'd be more than honored. So let's just jump in. I will start with an oracle card. It's a particular deck really geared towards love messages. I will draw. I typically like pop-outs. But again, I'm changing the way I'm doing things tonight. We have beyond words. I'm laughing because I drew this for Aries, I think. So, repeating cards here. I love this energy. Have you ever been with someone and in comfortable silence? I think that is one of the biggest indications of when you're really comfortable and things are very organic between the two of you. That's this kind of energy where obviously you have the bond, you have the connection, you have the relationship, you have the communication, but there are moments where you can actually just be in each other's presence. So that's what we're looking at here. Let's continue to develop the reading by drawing out of this tarot deck. This one I draw, they're only uprights. And this one I will only draw one. Out of my third deck, I will draw maybe more than one card. I'm curious to see what energy will attach itself to the idea of being in comfortable silence. I have the Four of Cups, which is a card of being contemplative, but so much so that the person is usually turned inward. To the point of being a little bit in a bubble. So there is the notion of silence, definitely. In this case, maybe it's adding on to the fact that it's nice to be comfortable in silence together. But maybe also in a couple, you'd want to have a little bit of space, right? So not always be fusional, one on top of another, always doing the same things at the same time, hand in hand. And, I believe that a healthy couple has these moments where each person has their own space, their own moments, maybe their own activities and interests, where they might not even be always common interests. So, and that's fine because we're not absolutely identical people, right? We're all unique. So in that sense, in a very mature kind of way of allowing the other to express themselves and you know, fully embrace their personality and likes and dislikes and whatnot, it's quite fitting to actually experience this moment where the other separates, where the other sort of withdraws to do X, Y, Z, whether it's to meditate, to think about something, to work on something else, to go out with friends, whatever that may be, to allow that in a generous way, in a how can I describe this to you? Also in a confident way, to feel that you know the person, you know the baseline, right, of the relationship, you know it's committed, you know the person is loyal, and you simply are actually helping each other build. And as you nourish yourselves elsewhere, when you come back together, you have something to share, ideas, new things, new information. And so it actually builds your relationship. I think it's a very healthy thing. So in this case, I don't sense this Four of Cups. We're going to see with the other deck, but instead of seeing it as someone withdrawing out of disinterest, it's much more out of need, like out of a personal need for growth and wanting to exchange wanting to share themselves in what has appeared for them. I'm hearing things like it's marvelous, things like it's such a beautiful thing. I'm seeing like stars in people's eyes, right? Twinkling, like very when you're very happy to see that, like you've missed them, so it creates a little bit of space, and then it creates when you're very happy and your eyes glitter, they twinkle, like that kind of feeling. I barely even was able to shuffle the cards, and two came out. I'm gonna take them. Give me a sec. Okay, so it's the Queen of Cups, and this is the Two of Wands, but it came out in reverse. You see, it's exactly what I was describing about this queen. She's journaling, or she's studying, or she's maybe even writing, in terms of writing a book or something like that. She seems absorbed in what she's doing, very intently, pouring herself into, very focused, pouring herself into what she's enjoying doing. And because it's the Queen of Cups, it feels like it's very nourishing. So it's something that feeds her soul, right? And so by growing yourself and filling your own cup, right, in many ways, then you have more to give when you engage again as a couple. The Two of Wands is an energy here of can I express this? I'm feeling it out. Allow me the time. I'm gonna say something funny. If the Two of Wands was upright, I'm seeing this as almost like a threshold, like a doorway. And the way the figure is drawn, it looks like she's about to walk out. But the card is in reverse. So there's something about almost like taking the time to come back around, sit yourself down, because the Queen is sitting. Spend more time investing in what you love. Maybe also with the idea of beyond words, and something that is requiring maybe some silence or at least tranquility. It feels like she's writing a letter. Could be a love letter. I'm also sensing, because the Two of Wands is here, I think there's something about wanting to put your thoughts down for things that you both might have lived and that you might want to live, right? So the idea of manifestation, but the Two of Wands is in reverse. So maybe not fully projecting yourself in the future, but also then the idea of reminiscing about past experiences upon which you would catapult yourself towards your own future, right? The things that help you contrast what you want to create for your future. So this kind of exercise where it's like a back and forth energy a little bit, in terms of the idea again of building on past experiences. And maybe that's why there's space needed. Maybe that's why there's like silence and maybe moments alone needed for this particular person, whether that's you or them, right? It's not necessarily I don't want to read it at only in one direction or just with one angle. I do want to draw more. One came out again. It's interesting. I didn't want to do pop-outs, but they're coming out. So this is the World, I think. Let me just look. Yes. It's funny. It's the World, and it did come out in reverse. It's the beautiful Venus on this card. It's interesting. So the card came out in reverse. It ties in with what I was describing about looking a little bit towards the past on things that you feel that you are either completing or haven't fully completed, that you wish to maybe, like I say, use as a diving board, right? To get to the next cycle, to the next plane, the next level. So there is some sort of attachment to something that is, I'm hearing it's not fully unwinded. some readers read this card as not being able to move on to the next level, right? Like being stuck in some sort of unfinished business and things like that. But that has a negative connotation. You might have the experience of that, or that might resonate for you, but I invite you to look at it differently, to look at it as you still, either there are things that you need to wash away, clear away, revisit, a little bit like a retrograde, a little bit like when you're at, it's the end of the cycle, but you're not quite finished. So that's where it's happening, right? And in this particular case, I mean, there's many ways to look at it. If you feel that you need to let go of something and this card comes out here and it makes you feel like, oh no, I'm stuck in this endless cycle, then it's a possibility. I won't exclude it, but it's not what I'm really sensing. Because this queen is in touch with her emotions. She's listening to her intuition. She is I have the words free-flowing, in the sense of easygoing, gentle. So it doesn't feel like it's I'm hearing cynical attachment, like cynical, you know, like it's not something that's funny, cynical, like almost sardonic in French. I don't know if that's the English word, sardonic in English. A little bit like on the sarcastic, like it has a similarity to that meaning. It's not that energy. Cynical attachment. I'm gonna draw more cards. Because of that word, it intrigues me. Two came out. Three. I have to put on my glasses again. The moon. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. And the Fool in reverse. More intuition, with the moon, more energy of wanting to draw in, to listen very, very deeply to one's emotions, to let them rise. And I think one way of making the emotions rise is, instead of speaking them, you're beyond words, you're letting them emerge, surface by writing. There's also an energy of, you know, we have another 2 in reverse. So it's really interesting. It's another energy of, look, The World is in reverse and the Two of Pentacles is in reverse. This Queen of Cups, I think, is seeing the relationship as it's at a point where they need to make a decision based on their emotions, based on their desires, based on intuition. And so they might have had indecision with the Two of Wands. They definitely would have had even more uncertainty with the Two of Pentacles, but both are in reverse. So there's a strengthening of the thought forms, but the ones that are linked to the emotions. So instead of being in the mind and being in two minds, which might have happened in the past, in this particular context, the person is going within, deeply going within. I'm hearing they're doing the work, and it's creating this, I'm hearing this possible, this potential, which is seen here with the Fool card, but it is in reverse because it is still being elaborated, if you want, or it's macerating, something like that. It's still brewing because the Moon is here. It's still hidden, it's still surfacing. It surfaces as the Queen is, you know, with every word, with the ink pouring, you know, it just, so it's a really interesting energy where, let me put it this way. I'm not seeing like the partner is like not really fully appearing here, if you know what I mean. Like I'm not seeing the play, the interplay here. It feels like it's it's either this person's side or yours, Sagittarius. But know that whatever is happening here is with you in mind. It's with you in heart. It is meant to be the bridge, to help them bridge the relationship, or to help them fully, I'm hearing fully expose the relationship. Not literally, it's more like, because these words came out and it doesn't sound like a correct sentence even, or it doesn't sound very logical, a very logical thing to say. So there's two ways to look at this, right? It could be the end of a relationship. It could. So you could see it as someone needing to release the emotions that came with the relationship, wanting to get closure, wanting to get deep with oneself, preparing the future in terms of, okay, I need to contrast, using this to contrast this relationship, or to contrast the next one, or any other endeavor. It could be seen this way. And then you could see it differently. You could see it as investing yourself in the relationship in a very private way, in a very, what I was describing on the Four of Cups at the beginning, right? When you're apart, and you're taking the time to maybe either work on a project or even just digest, or sort of almost like peer into your own feelings, peer into what it is you're experiencing, what it is that, what is it that I'm hearing that you're being carried, like not that you're literally being carried or physically being carried, but how this experience is actually it's hard to describe. I'm hearing things like it becomes it's part of your baggage, but like in a positive, like all of your experience, I should say. It becomes like something that you can actually, again, the words build upon, right? So you carry it with you, you carry this with you, but it also carries you or supports you if you want, or simply it's foundational as well. There's something about that. I know it's very symbolic. It's I hope I'm making sense. So I prefer I prefer to read these cards as a very positive and healthy I'm hearing operation, but it's not an operation. Like you know, and I'm not talking like how do you say, excuse me, I'm not English, right? Anglophone, so sometimes I look for my words. Like it's not chirurgical, like it's not like you're gonna open your body and like it's not like that. It's an operation, meaning a little bit like the word process. I just didn't want to use process. I'm hearing concoction. I think it's the same word in English. Concoction. I can't say it. Concoction. I can't say it. I'm gonna give up. Concoction. I'm sure you can understand. It makes me shy when I stumble on words, and yet I don't mind. I hope you don't either. I want to go back to the Fool in reverse, because I mentioned it contains the possible, right? And also, like, because it's the Zero card and we have the World here, right? It's this, the World has usually the laurel, or that big round and I don't know the word. And it's like both the Fool and the World are in reverse. So it's a really interesting it's like it's the start, but it's also the finish line, but it's not finished, so, and it hasn't started. You know what I mean? Like it's all of that. It's really strange. So it's even hard to position, you know, I think this is what needs to emerge as well for this Queen of Cups. Like, where's the start? Where's the end? where is this moving towards? How is it evolving? How can I grow it? How can I build? How can I manifest more? And how can I contrast it? All of these things, and fundamentally, it's all happening like very deeply. The beyond the words is referring much more to the emotions, and the probably a lot of it is unconscious or subconscious. And so that's why there's like time needed apart for, I'm hearing, I was going to say processing, but it's operating. It's really strange. So, in terms of the love relationship, poor you, you were probably hoping like for a more typical love reading that you find everywhere. You're gonna meet someone, whatever they say, right? In the sense of I'm not sure how I want to word this. I don't want to compare any other love reading, because they're all good. They're all love readings, and they all are worthy. They have their own worth. I mean, it's just that this reading is showing you that you're not engaging. So, but it doesn't mean that you're not either capable of love. On the contrary, you have the Queen of Cups, so you are more than capable. You have strong emotions with the moon. They run deep, very deep. I want you to understand that there's no detachment. It's simply positioning yourself, working on yourself, exploring potentialities, understanding your, and the positioning could be also you're understanding your place. It could be in a variety of ways, but it could be so your place in the world. It could be your place within the context of a relationship, or your place solo as well, right? If you're solo, and it's all of these things. So I just want to go back, and I'm going to finish on the 2 twos. The idea that you haven't fully exited. It's a decision you've made, somewhat related to a decision, but it probably didn't come as a decision, right? In terms of something very intentional. I think it arose with the emotions that came up for you. So it's almost like your emotions guided you in a particular direction, or to do, to take the time off, to take the time apart for the space that you needed, something like that. Anyways, it's I think I've said enough. Maybe the last words here would be, because we have the Fool and the World in reverse, And because there's all this play on, has it started, has it not started, has it ended, has it not ended, you know, like how I'm sensing this to be is like I'm hearing point of no return, but I'm also hearing the word zenith. So it's a really strange energy where it's the same idea of reaching a particular you know, the point of no return is like the tipping point. The zenith is like the highest point. So it's a particular moment, and maybe that's the what I'm sensing with the twos about the kind of decision. It's like there's a place where you can't go any further, right? You can't go any further. And then from that point, all is possible, because I'm not sure how to express it other than that. It's almost like saying there's nothing to add, there's nothing else to be done, but not in a discouragement energy, just simply like knowing that you've done everything, knowing that you that these things have played out, that these things have reached their fullest expression in all the facets, good and bad, etc. And what it opens up is a clean slate. And again, everything I'm describing, you can choose to look at it as, okay, the relationship is ended and it's not like it's, if you had someone in mind and you're thinking, you can definitely look at it this way, right? That it's not gonna be a thing, that, you know, you need to move on. But for me, it's different. It's almost like, on the contrary, it's almost like the place where you don't need to be doing all of that, all the energies of the two, of like try to figure it out, try to, you know, push a little here, do a little more there. Like, none of that exists anymore. It's like a full it's like a liberation, and it becomes much more positive and much more, it's like it's fuller than before, believe it or not. It's like, it seems like you're hitting a place where there's nothing else, and what I'm saying sounds like it's saying that it's empty, there's nothing left, but it's the opposite. It's the place where it becomes the fullest. So I don't know what you're gonna think about that, but maybe it's just food for thought, or maybe not even think about it. I think maybe you could do like this queen and simply try to feel it out, sense it for yourself. And it feels like it's a more positive way of looking at things. And it doesn't feel like I can tell you that this is an ending nor a beginning. It's more of a all-encompassing energy of both an ending and a beginning. I'm not sure if I can add anything to that. I doubt it. Okay. Thank you for being here. I didn't expect the reading to be so long, nor so cryptic. Enjoy yourself. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Thank you.